welcome back. Flight 2 of our career. We were in Idaho Falls. Found another flight to Driggs Idaho right here. 93 pounds. I think that's the one we're going to take. Let's double check our planes one more. I'm kind of looking for a Cessna Skyhawk G1000. Here's the Skyhawk, but it's pretty much a plain Jane. I'd like to get the glass cockpit. That's pretty fun to navigate with. Okay, really nothing there to go in debt for. We're at $15,000 now. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept that one. Okay, we got 93 pounds of cargo, only 44 nautical miles in our Cessna 152. But our weather has been an issue. We'll try it again. We landed in a field last time we attempted this, so let's get our plane loaded up. Not gonna do anything with the fuel, so whatever fuel I have on board is going to be sufficient. So with the pilot weight and cargo weight, we're looking at 132 per chair. Okay, we're in our CG limit. We're probably somewhere around there in our fuel, so we're way underweight. Everything's good. So we can close that out. Okay, let's go to KIDA, Idaho Falls Regional, and there's the picture. Okay, we were parked somewhere right there. So let's park at the end down here. Okay, we're in ramp 23 parking. Again, we have really nothing fancy. I just put it in here so it kind of knows. We have no navigation. Okay, fairly good airport. We're gonna arrive in Driggs, 49 miles. It's showing 10 knots or 7 knots of wind at 10 degrees. 5 knots of wind at 220. This is a controlled airspace, this is not, so we'll kind of remember the 10 degrees. That's kind of where we want to land. Our weather is horrible for a Cessna one. We iced up on our last one. We'll give it a try. Let's see what it does for us. We'll get it loaded up here. Maybe it's warmed up enough to where we'll have clouds. We could ice once we get off the ground. We are going to be in a valley. There's going to be mountains around, so icing still could be a problem. We'll see what we got when we get in the plane. There's Idaho Falls, Idaho. Yeah, kind of looks about the same, don't it? If you involved our last one, we were icing up as we were sitting there. Okay, I know. Need to get in my chair location. All right. First things first, let's get in here and get NeoFly connected.
Good morning, pilot. Ready for your cargo mission? Transporter form dispatch. Loading cargo. Please stand by.
Okay, you can see I'm 1 pound over than what they requested because taking the total, my weight, the 93 pounds divided by 2 came up with a 0.5. I just rounded up, so we're actually 1 pound more. Everything's green. Our motor's not on. We're in 172. Everything is golden. Let's get back on the plane while they're loading up. we can start getting our
Transporter.
cockpit ready.
Transporter from dispatch. The cargo is on board. You are clear to taxi to the runway and take off.
Okay, we're cleared with NeoFly, not with the Pocatello, Idaho Falls. Okay, our gas is on. Let's get some things going here. Let's do the battery switch. Gives us some juice. Let's do our beacon and nav lights so people know we're going to be starting up. Get my altimeter set. And while we're setting on the ground, let's double check. That's pretty good. That's close. Go full rich. Yell out my window clear.
Idaho Falls ground. Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo requesting pushback.
No, you be quiet.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo pushback request accepted.
I gotta get that off. I use that when
Idaho
I'm in my
Falls ground.
jets.
Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo requesting the end of pushback.
Don't push back my
Cessna
plane.
Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo request to end pushback received.
Okay. Now we got it fired up. I'll put my alternator on. Avionics. I don't think I have an avionics switch in here, but I'll turn it on anyway. Let's go ahead and turn our lights all on. Pitot heat on. We've done that. Okay. We're running. Our temperature's up. We're just off of fuel on both tanks. Oil pressure. Okay. Everything looks somewhat good. We're not icing up. It still looks like we're just right there for icing. Let's take a look outside. That's the direction of where we're going. It looks horrible. Oh my. Why do we do this to ourselves? Okay, I'll give it a try. I'm gonna call it again. That's probably gonna be an epic failure, but maybe we can stay low enough out of the clouds, out of the ice, and we can actually make it. If not, I can adjust the weather on the go. I know that's cheating, but we can cheat just a little bit. Okay. Everything looks good. I hate it when I click my mouse and it dives in there. Okay. What options are they giving us? Okay, we can't get ATIS. And we are going to be heading... let's just request taxi, north departure.
Idaho Falls ground. Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo with Oscar request taxi for takeoff north departure. Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo taxi to and hold short of runway 21 via taxiway Bravo Alpha. Contact tower on 118.5 when ready.
Okay, we're gonna acknowledge
Taxiing
runway
hold
21.
short runway 21 using taxiway Bravo Alpha Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
Okay, runway 21. Easy cheesy. Sorry about the... Okay. We're just going to do our taxi to runway 21 using Alpha, or Bravo Alpha. Try not to cut him in half. It's the wrong time of year to be flying a 152 on what we're doing. We should be in a a bigger plane. Summertime, no problem. Okay, here's our taxiway. Gonna go down to runway 21. I thought about getting that Skylane Cessna 172, but there's a little performance difference, a little payload difference, but really nothing to justify. You're still going to have problems with icing. It's really not a icing plane. But right here, I don't see us icing up, so we're doing better than we did before, but probably the minute we get off the ground, we'll be in trouble. My graphics don't look very good here. Drop down so we can see. That said Alpha there. Why would we be taking off in the middle of the runway? We're going to go all the way down to the end. Microsoft struggles with airport information on taxi, on exactly what taxiways. So take it with a grain of salt when you're dealing with Microsoft's default ATC, because they steer you wrong quite often. We're going to go down here to the end of the runway like you're supposed to. We'll do our run up. Pretty much explained that in the last video, so I'll try not to repeat myself, but you'll see me go through the motions and you'll kind of know if you follow along what we do. Okay, we'll find an area here to do our run up. There's usually a little box right here we can get off the runway, or the taxiway. Let's pull off to the side. Our winds are calm. We'll just do our run up right here. Okay, got our mixture set. Our lights are all on, one notch of flaps. Okay. I like it. It shows this as alpha too. Whoops, lots of alphas. Okay. Pull up to this line here for runway 21. We can't cross it. Now we check in. We're going to tune into tower to 118.5 and request VFR.
Idaho Falls
from
Tower,
Idaho
Cessna
Falls.
Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo ready for north departure at runway 21. Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo altimeter 29.9 at 10. Departure to the north approved. Cleared for takeoff runway 21.
Okay, we're cleared for takeoff. We're going to acknowledge the
Cleared for
clearance.
takeoff runway 21 Cessna Tango Echo Romeo.
And he gives us an altimeter setting of 2992 standard. That's tuning this in, because if we move this knob, changes our barometric pressure, which it changes this. So we got to make sure we keep that set to whenever we get a altimeter or barometer different setting. Whenever they tell us, we make sure we tune that in, and I do that. You just don't see me do it. Okay, we're cleared for takeoff, runway 21 with a north departure. We look both ways, nothing we see there, so gonna go wide open. Gonna rotate around 50-55 knots. Airspeed's alive. Center line. 40, 45, 50. Nice. 55. Rotate. Bring pull back. Nice little climb.
Transporter from dispatch. Fly safe.
Gonna trim my plane. Gonna fly runway heading. Flap up. Trim the plane. Okay. Just gonna fly the runway heading for now. We're gonna do our same altitude, 5,500 feet VFR. See if that keeps us out of the clouds. And once you take off,
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo, continue for north departure.
okay, he's gave us clearance for our north departure. Go ahead,
Idaho
answer
Falls
him.
Tower Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, continue for north departure.
Just pretty much gotta wait for him to tell us what he wants us to do. We keep flying our runway heading because we're in controlled airspace right now, so he knows we're gonna turn north. Gonna level off at the 5,500 feet. I might pull this off. Okay. Coming up on our northbound heading. And we'll run northbound right at a north heading until we clear this airspace, and then we're free to do what we want to do. Okay, we definitely want to go no higher. This is so hard to trim. The real thing isn't this hard to trim. Okay. We'll just stick right around there. Got our north heading, 5,500 feet. We could pull back on the power, but I'm got it wide open. Then he clears us as his airspace. Then we're gonna turn. Haven't quite decided how we're gonna get there yet. Have been flying strictly VFR out the window. Maybe this is a chance that we could. There's no VOR to Driggs, so we can't do like we did with Idaho Falls, tune into a Driggs VOR and fly straight to it. So we would have to use other VORs flying an actual radio degree to intercept the airport. So maybe we'll do that. Okay, we're hanging right around, just a little bit below 0 Celsius, so we're just still freezing may still be, or icing still could be a problem. We should be leaving at the airspace anytime. As long as we stay in clear air, we should be fine. Looks like we got some raindrops or snowflakes or something flying by us.
Cessna Tango Echo Romeo leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Okay, he's giving us permission. We got a
Idaho Falls Tower Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo frequency change.
Okay, we're out of controlled airspace now. The weather does not look good in the direction we need to fly. There's I-15. There's freeway. I could just fly the highways to get to Driggs. But right now, I gotta turn right, and it doesn't look good over there. Let's keep flying north for a minute or two. Now I could turn and pick up a Highway 20. That'll get us close to the valley we need to fly up. It helps when you know the area. I pretty much know these roads. I do all kinds of work out here, so. Okay, we're just gonna turn to east heading. We'll pick up Highway 20. Okay, it might clear up a little bit. We're below the clouds. We got a little snowflake. Our tip hasn't dropped. We're a couple degrees below Celsius 0. So it is a little chilly out here. Okay, let's take a look at my sectional. I can fly the Idaho Falls. We're tuned into the... Now, let me switch 113. 11385. Okay, that's our ID VOR, it says. And our 057 degree radial will hit Driggs. So what that means, we'll go turn this knob to 057. So there's 030, 040, 05, 055, 6, 7. Okay, there's our radio. So if we jump on that, which we're not going to be able to for a minute because we have a mountain range at our 1 o'clock, and to get over that I think would have to go into the clouds. So best not do that right now. I got the plane trimmed. We're right where we need to be. My hand's off the yoke, it's just kind of flying. I just do little adjustments. I haven't seen Highway 20 yet. I'm thinking it should be coming up. Because this should be Rigby, Idaho, right here, the town in front of us. So if I'm looking at my VOR1, it shows us we are to the left of that 057. Kind of dropping down a little bit, so yeah, this is possibly Rigby, Idaho. If I was flying a real plane, I would be able to pick out the cities much better, because there's our Highway 20. So yep, so there's our Highway 20. It's a divided highway main, so that'll connect us to Rexburg. So we can turn a little bit. We don't got to follow the highway. I mean, if we want to, we can follow the highway direct. But it does go north, and it kind of swings around. There's an altitude. Let me trim my plane up. So I like flying real weather. I mean, we get the clouds. It didn't show a lot of snow where we took off, because this is what it basically looks like at the house where we took off from Aberdeen. This is how it looks. So this is gonna connect us to Rexburg, and I'll want to fly to Rexburg. Then north of Rexburg will be Sugar City. Highway 33 heads east, and if we pick up that Highway 33, that'll take us in the direction of Driggs. Looks like our cloud level decreases a little bit. We do have that mountain range to the right of us that we have to fly around. If it was a beautiful day, I'd fly over it, connect that 057 radial, and would fly right straight to it. See, I'm icing up on the right window already, and we're even in clear air. Icing's going to be a problem. Our temperature's dropping. If it gets much worser, that's a great word to use. It's probably why I'm losing altitude. It doesn't take much icing to really affect this plane. This is when people get in trouble and die, not paying attention to their surroundings. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to do this real weather. Dang it. I don't want to fly blue skies, but with the plane we have. So in real life, there's an airport here in Rexburg. We could land, recoup, replan, stay alive. The joys of simulators, you can just click a button and life is good again. But I am going to push it as far as I possibly can. As long as our airspeed stays up. The clouds at 1 and 2 o'clock just would be in the clouds right now. Because our elevation is going to come up a little bit when we fly up that canyon. Okay, this should be Rexburg right in front of us. There's an airport parallel on I-20. And if you don't know the area, you just look at your sectionals and you plan your VFR flight accordingly to how you're going to fly it. Are you going to fly radials? Or are you going to fly VOR, ND? You know, you just decide. You do all this on the ground. You don't do it when you're up. When you're up, you better have your plan in place and execute the plan. There's the Rexburg Airport right there. Runs parallel with the Highway 20. So in real life, the way it looks here, my icing's kind of staying under control. I would probably think about landing there and re-evaluating. Okay, so Rexburg, the freeway's gonna loop around Rexburg, come back here. Sugar City, our Highway 33 should be running right there. So it might clear up for us if I keep low enough. Stay out of the clouds. If we were in them clouds, we'd ice up immediately. I mean, we're icing up in clear air, so it doesn't look good. Our chances of staying out of the clouds are pretty, yeah, and I'm icing up on my side windows now, so I want to be real, but we're not going to make it. So we'll go to our plan there. Oh, look. Nothing but blue skies, green fields. Watch the ice disappear. So we were in the same. We were going to slowly keep icing up. So in the real life, we would have landed there in Rexburg. Let me switch. Make sure my altimeter should be 2.9 or 9 or 2 for the altimeter setting. Because now, usually when you fly green skies like this, everything's standard. 2.9 or 9 or 2. Okay, that's Rexburg. That's what, BYU North or BYU Rexburg, whatever they call it, out of my left window. We're gonna be right at the base of the Grand Tetons, so we'll kind of get a little, see how I'm starting to climb now that the ice has melted off. Because we are about 14 degrees Celsius right now, so okay, there's Sugar City. Oh no, that's Rexburg. Sugar City's up here. We're probably going to connect Highway 33 around Newdale. It helps knowing the area. Yellowstone National Park's probably right at the horizon. Yellowstone National Park is up on that mountaintop right there. The Grand Tetons are going to be right here, and that's where we're going to be landing. If I can keep my plane from taking off. Yeah, we're going to want to climb anyway. We're at the north-south side, so we want to be odd. So let's take her up to, slowly go up to 75. Airport elevation is 6231, so we're going to be on 7,200 feet when we reach the pattern altitude. So we do need to go up 1,000 feet. Okay, there's our Highway 33 right there, I believe. Or is it right there? That could be. That should be Sugar City. It's hard to tell canals from roads. We'll keep flying. I'll pick it up here in a minute. Yeah, this probably is our Highway 33 right there. And that should take us right east. Put my hand back on the yoke and start flying correctly. That should be Newdale right in front of us. Or Teton. Okay, we're still climbing. Airspeed's looking good. Altitude's climbing up. This is definitely not February weather, because we're at February 16th right now. Okay, we're just kind of following Highway 33 right off the left side. There's a town right off at our 1 o'clock, right off the Callan. I believe that's New Dale. The Grand Tetons aren't so grand on Flight Simulator. They're right in front of us. And if you're not familiar with the Grand Tetons, there's a handful of mountain peaks that climb up. I don't know what the exact top, but I've been up close to the 14,000 foot level walking on them. But they just kind of jaggedy mountains. That's the Continental Divide, the Rocky Mountains, the Grand Tetons. Okay, there's 7,500 feet. Let's trim it down and stay at this altitude. We got Highway 33 right out my left window. And I believe that is New Dale, Idaho. I think there's Teton, then New Dale. I've worked out here so many years, I should know, but I kind of forget. So the Grand Tetons are kind of showing. We're pretty much going to be at the base of them. We're not going to go over that. And then Jackson Hole, Wyoming's just on the other side of that mountain ridge. So we're going to stay to this side. Keep climbing. Too much performance. Yep, that's Highway 33, because I recognize you're going through the farms. It makes a right turn, squiggles around. It'll come back in front of us. There's a big gorge we gotta go over, and that's right in front of us. So yeah, we're on the right track. We're doing good. Then off to our left side, might as well give you a tour guide in that canyon over there. Back in the 70s, they were building the Teton Dam, which failed and flooded all of Rexburg, and the American Falls Reservoir finally stopped it. But Sugar City, Rexburg, Blackfoot, they were all flooded out. It failed when they were filling it brand new. Poor design. They really didn't do what they were supposed to do, and they were filling it way too fast. And then when they found a problem, there was really nothing they could do. And once it started leaking, they tried to plug it with bulldozers, and yeah, it was too late. They were supposed to fill it like a foot a day, and they were like 3 to 4 foot a day. They were just... And that's pretty much why we have so much regulation today, is because of stupid little things. I don't think that would happen today. First of all, they would have probably stopped the whole process because the ground was proven to be unstable, that they shouldn't have built it to begin with, but they invested some of the BLM invested so much time that they didn't want to pull back, so they decided to move forward. And yeah, I was just a little tyke back in the 70s, but I still remember they were concerned that the American Falls Dam may fail because of all the water, but it didn't. They started releasing as much water as they possibly could. Okay, right off our nose, right at our cowlin, right here is a farmyard. And that's an airstrip. Crop dusters use that all the time. So we could actually land there. I've watched them. Let me turn a little bit. They would land right here, top off, and take off this way and go do a bunch of ag spraying. I don't know if that's on this sectional or not, but and I just keep climbing. This old airplane just has so much power. Kind of curious to see what that looks like. Oh yeah, it's right along the graveled road, so it's, you gotta love it. So yeah, there's an airstrip if we had problems. So you can see the airstrip, there's the end of it. It just parallels the graveled road. The trucks on that will park right here. Kind of shows it. And yeah, I've sat here and offloaded my truck and watched the crop duster land. And there's a lot of country, a lot of acres of farmland out here to maintain. Okay, there's the Tetons right in front of us. And the mountain ridge to our right that I have to fly over. Okay, this will help us use. I'm going to stop using Highway 33. Here's Highway 33. It's going to wind around and then eventually go to Driggs, but we're going to play with our VOR. We'll see. If I come in on remember the 057 radial from Idaho Falls, that'll take us right to Driggs. We're actually flying a few degrees off of that, so we will pick it up eventually, but we could overfly. The radial's coming this way, we're flying this way, and if we don't pick this up soon, we could miss Driggs altogether. So as soon as it's safe, I'm going to turn, and we need to pick this radial up as soon as possible now that we're in this valley, because this is the valley that I wanted to fly up. We couldn't fly over this because of clouds. I wanted to come around and fly up the valley. But now that we got rid of the clouds, it's amazing how beautiful the day turned out. But if we stay on this side of the valley, I know Driggs is over here somewhere. Even if I wasn't familiar with the area, you'd look at your sectional. It shows this mountain ridge, it shows this mountain ridge, it shows the airport. I just have the airport information up right now, and there's no procedures. Our runway is 73 feet long by 100 foot. Oh! See, if I had a big fancy plane, there is an RNAV GPS for runway 04. So remember, the winds were at that direction. Okay, we're just going to fly up on this side of the valley. Let's see if we can find on our radio. We're kind of limited to what the, okay, right at the top of the list. There we go. Let's get our ATIS.
Kilo Delta India Juliet Automated Weather Observation 1800 Zulu. Wind 259 at tree. Visibility niner. Sky condition clear. Temperature 15 C dew point. 13 C altimeter 299 or 2.
Just dawned on me, we changed the weather, so of course we've got 3 knots. Okay, go away. Yeah, that changed. So we're definitely gonna, I mean, 3 knots is not that big. We could land anyway, but let's land on runway 22. We got our ATIS, so let's announce full stop. We'll announce our position.
Kilo Delta India Juliet traffic Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo 10 miles west 7,800 feet inbound to land runway 22.
Okay. Uncontrolled airspace, so we're just basically talking any other pilots in the area. Heard that, they know we're coming in to land, kind of roughly where we're at. We're west of the airport 10 miles, and our intentions are to land. So I'm still waiting to pick up our radio. Oh, it's starting to come over right there. So as soon as the closer this gets to our center, I'm going to turn pretty close to the same degree as what that is. Then it should fly us right to the airport. So we just want to be 75 feet, or 75 feet, 7,500 feet or higher when we enter the winds are coming from this direction. So we're kind of getting the winds coming over these mountains, which might give us a little downdraft everywhere. You got to be kind of careful in these small planes flying around mountains. Really pay attention to where your winds are coming from, because on one side of the mountain the winds are going up, will create lift for you. On the other side of the mountain the winds are coming down, they can drag you down, and if you don't have a lot of performance, you can use that to your advantage though. You can use the side of the mountain to gain altitude in these underpowered planes, but you just remember on the other side of the mountain it'll take you down, and if you don't have enough power it can drive you right into the mountain or into the ground or mountain. It's smart to, once you get your pilot's license, to actually, in this area at least, go ahead and take a mountain course. They'll teach you all the safe ways of flying through mountains, because northern Idaho, it's like this everywhere. You have an engine failure, I can land in this field no problem, I wouldn't be worried at all, but up in these mountains you got the downdrafts, you got a lot of turbulence. Okay, we're coming up, we're getting really close, so let's just kind of slowly roll into a turn. And planes are a lot different than cars. I just put a little yoke, start the bank, and my hand's off now. It'll just kind of slowly keep that turn, and then when I'm done turning I'll just go in the opposite direction, and it'll stop my bank, stop my turn. If a car, if you let go of the steering wheel right now, it's straight and you'd go straight. Plane, not so much. You really don't have to fly if it's trimmed good. Okay, now we got to look out the windshield and find an airport. That possibly could be it. I'm thinking it's a little farther. Okay, I'm coming up on my 5.7, so I'm just gonna kind of level out. We're at our 7,600 feet. Never flown in here before, so I know basically where we are. There's the Tetons. Teton Pass. What I'd like to do is I'll overfly the runway. We know where runways are heading. 22 and 4, so it's pretty close, going to be right down our nose, 22 and 4. So this may be the airport right here. These may be hangars. We're not in a very good position right here. Let's pick this up. We don't want to, if this is the runway, which I think it is, we don't want to fly, because if they're taking off runway 22, we'd be right in their path. It's better to fly over an airport in the center. Planes coming in, taking off, you're not going to be in their way. And yes, that's Driggs right there. Let's do a nice little
Kilo Delta India Juliet traffic Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo 3 miles southwest 7,600 feet inbound to land runway 22.
Okay, we're basically on a downwind, right downwind for runway 22. It doesn't say what the non-procedure instruments, good, medium intensity. Sometimes they tell you what it's preferred, but in the sim life, sailplanes operate heavy during summer. Right traffic runway 22. So we're using right traffic 22. So let's announce our position. We are doing our downwind.
Kilo Delta India Juliet traffic Cessna Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo is on downwind runway 22.
Okay, right downwind. See, I'd have done all that before I left. We just wing it here. Okay, right downwind. Okay, our elevation 62.3. We're 1,000 feet. I'm going to pull back on my power. Let's do gumps. Gear, undercarriage, mixture, prop. The only thing we're going to worry about is our prop, our mixture. Don't have a prop to worry about. Okay, I'm going to trim back, bring our speed down to our arc. There's our arc. Trim, 1 notch of flap. Our nose is going to rise. I'll bring it down. Throttle back a little bit. Our little sweet spot's like 1800 RPM. 1 more notch of flap. Trim. Little. Okay. I got to remember we're in a really slow plane, so I don't have to go so far away from the airport. Probably do another 2 notch. Don't really do full flap landings. I kind of like. Okay, there's our airport. We're going to aim for them 2 big blotches again. Let's give us our 1,000. Okay, we got 4 white lights right here. 4 whites, fly all night. 4 reds, you're dead. So what you want to see is 2 whites, 2 reds. That means you're on the glide path perfectly. And I'm coming in a little hot and a little. Let's see if they turn red the closer we get. So the farther out, your ideal is to make 2 red, 2 white. You're on a nice little glide slope. They should have turned red by now. Okay, there's 1 red, there's 2 red, there's our glide slope. Okay, pull back the throttle. Just gonna keep her off the ground, center line, off, 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 off.
Transporter from dispatch. Nice landing. Go to the next parking and put your parking brake on. I'll be in touch.
Okay, I come up 1 notch of flap. Another notch of flap. And there's quite a few different. There's a Vazi and a Pappy, and they're all the same. Sometimes they're in a line like it was. Sometimes they're stacked on top of each other. Maybe there's one white, one red. Anytime you see like the 4 whites, that's just the simple saying, fly all night. You're high, red, you're dead. Okay, now that we're off, I should have really called final, and it should tell them I should be able to say clear a runway, but it doesn't give me the option to do it the job right. Okay, we're gonna find a building to go park to, and we did it. Welcome to Driggs, Idaho. Cheating on the weather. It doesn't look like I can't even find planes where they're parked, or I'd head that direction, so I guess this is where we need to be. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll just park it here. Okay, park.
Transporter. Cargo unloading in progress. Stand by, pilot.
Stand by, pilot. Engine should be shutting off. There we go. Let's unload this bad boy. Okay, there's a flight. Now we're in Driggs, Idaho. Let's figure out where we want to fly next. We'll see what kind of planes. Okay, I'm going to make a mental note. We're about 3/4 fuel in both tanks. Depending on what we take out of here, I don't know if we want to put fuel on. We got plenty of fuel if we keep doing these short little legs. We're not going to do nothing far in this plane. It's just, we're not going to fly to Vegas or take us all day. But once we start getting into bigger planes, we're at 5 after 12, so that's the real time anyway. Just, let's go to real weather. Let's see what it would be like if we did live weather. See, there's no way. That's what it really looks like here. We would have died. Yeah, see, there's the valley we flew up. There's no way we could have made this flight in real weather. Not today. So, yeah. If we fly out of here today, we're so important looking. Co-pilot has
Transporter from dispatch. Everything seems okay. The customer looks happy. Mission ended.
Okay. Let's go ahead and shut all our switches off. That clocks us. 38 daytime. 1 takeoff, 1 landing. 38 minutes. You can say this isn't my first rodeo. Here's my total. I've flown 718 hours. I got total flight time in Microsoft Flight. So we do this a lot. Probably more than I should. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and close this out. Get into our NeoFly. Bring that up. Okay, our fuel consumption was 25 pounds. Let's go to our finances first. Okay, we got paid $4,900. Cost us $237 insurance. And it's going to cost us $137 to land in Driggs, Idaho. So we're still there. Plane still in good shape. Everything's green. We actually got 1 hour on our airframe now. Staff, I'm at 100. Ooh, our next flight, I am going to graduate. I'm going to rank up. No more cadetting. Ooh, I'm excited. What kind of planes? Okay, we got a Beechcraft. That's a multi-engine turbo. Ooh, I did buy this plane. The Cessna 182 Skylane. That might be something we could buy. How much? We got 2 of them here. One's 131 and one's 314. We may buy that. Ooh, TBM 930. I love flying that, but no, I don't think so. Should we buy a plane? Yes or no? I don't know why this one's more expensive than this one. They're going to say they're brand new when we buy them, which we know they're not brand new. They're in Driggs, Idaho, so we could make things challenging and just buy the most expensive because that hopefully has the best stuff. I think we're going to do it. Let's graduate. Let's get out of the 152. And this one's a nice plane. It's a 182 turbo, so we're turboprop fuel injection. It can climb. I mean, we have no problem. So we need $331,000. I got almost 20 grand in my pocket. Let's go to financing. There's nothing really close here. If we could get a, let's refresh. If we can get a loan around $400,000 at a pretty good interest rate, there's a $650,000 at 4%. 4%'s not bad. I'd like to see a 1 or 2%. Whew, there's a almost $700,000 at 13%. Don't want that one. There's a $500,000. We probably should have took that one. Okay, there's a 460 at 4%. That's not bad. There's 4. Let's go ahead. Put on there, right click, execute. That's how it is. Simple as that. There's our loan. We got a payment due the 23rd. So we just got to make sure. Bang. Now we've got 480,000. We are going to sell the 152. There's really no reason to save it. So here's our Cessna Skylane. Right click. We're going to buy it. You bought a brand new Cessna. No, we didn't. We bought a used Cessna. Okay. Now we go to our hangar. There it is. So, of course, I got a tail wing. And this is, oh, I need capital letters. Can't have. This is very unrealistic because no, these are like a license plate, so no number is the same. You can't have Skeeter on everything. No. So we're going to say goodbye to our Cessna 152. So we're going to want to sell it for $123,000. Yes, please. Okay. We've graduated into a new plane. Great. So now I'll make a note that we are now in the 182T, and that changes our weights and everything. I will do that offline, and then that's also going to change our cargo. We can take longer flights, we can take more weight. Once we graduate out of cadet, then I will start taking passengers. It automatically gives us a bunch of things to do, but I don't think passengers would want to fly with a cadet and a 152. 182 still passengers, I don't think is an option. But we have it available to us, so we can select this and add what we feel we want to do. So we may different VIP, you can't bank the plane over 45 degrees, sensitive, you can't land at more than 200 feet a minute or you break the stuff. Express, you have time. Once you accept that, then this expiration date is pretty much only gives you a few hours, so you got to really pay attention. Passengers, there's no, I don't think there's a restriction on passengers. No. There's none. You just got to be smooth and silky as you go when you got passengers. So, all right. There's another successful flight, cheating with weather, of course. Maybe the next time we fly out, we won't cheat. But if we want to fly, we got to do a little cheating. Hopefully the weather will help us out in the future. Other than that, good flying today with you. I hope to see you next time, and see you later.